हेलो दोस्तों, वेलकम बैक टू स्टडी रूम। तो आज हम बात करते हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट के कुछ प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस की। तो चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, कंसीडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स रिगार्डिंग कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट बिल्स। अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट बिल कैन बी इंट्रोड्यूस्ड ओनली इन लोकसभा. It requires prior recommendation of the president. There is no provision for joint sitting. Here the correct answer is option C. There is no provision for joint sitting. Which of the following statement is correct regarding ratification of constitutional amendment bill by states? It is required when the bill is seek to amend federal provisions. It requires ratification by at least half of the state legislature. Ratification by all states is mandatory. Select the correct answer using the code below. Here the correct answer is it requires ratification by at least half of the state legislature. Option B. Which of the following is not a feature of constitutional amendment bill as per article 368? Can be introduced in either house of the parliament. Requires prior recommendation of president. No provision for joint sitting of both houses. President is bound to give assent. Here the correct answer is option B. Requires prior recommendation. The first constitutional amendment act 1951 was mainly related to strengthening fundamental rights, imposing reasonable restrictions on fundamental right, reorganization of states, or emergency extension of emergency provisions. Here the correct answer is option B, imposing reasonable restrictions on fundamental rights. Question number 2. The 7th Constitutional Amendment Act 1956 is related to abolition of privy purse, reorganization of state, establishment of Panchayati Raj, inclusion of new fundamental duties. Here the correct answer is reorganization of states. Consider the following statements regarding 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. It introduced the words socialist and secular in the preamble. It made fundamental duties a part of the constitution. It extended the tenure of Lok Sabha and State Assembly to 6 years. Which of the following statement given above is correct? Here the correct answer is option D. All the statements are correct. Which of the following is not a feature of 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978? Restore the right to property as a fundamental right, strengthen the fundamental rights, made emergency provisions less draconian, reduce the term of Lok Sabha to 5 years. Here the correct answer is option A. Restore the rights to property as a fundamental. The 10th schedule of the Constitution, which contained provisions regarding anti-defection, was added by 44th Amendment Act, 52nd Amendment Act, 61st Amendment Act, and 91st Amendment Act. Here the correct answer is option B. 52nd Amendment Act के थ्रू इसको ऐड किया गया था. Consider the following statement regarding the 52nd Amendment Act 1985. It added the 10th schedule to the Constitution. It empowers the Speaker, Chairman to decide on disqualification of the member. It provides for split in the political party. Here the correct answer is option A. First and second statement are correct. The voting age in India was reduced from 21 years to 18 years by the 42nd Amendment Act, 52nd Amendment Act, 61st Amendment Act, and 71st Amendment Act. Here the correct answer is 61st Amendment Act 1980. The 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 is related to Panchayati Raj institutions. The 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 is related to municipalities. The right to education has been made a fundamental right under the Constitution by the 86th Amendment Act 2002. Option C. The 99th Constitutional Amendment Act 2014 is related to National Judicial Appointment Commission, Goods and Services Tax, right to information, strengthening of panchayats. Here the correct answer is option A. National Judicial Appointment Commission. The 101st Constitutional Amendment Act 2016 is related to Goods and Services Tax, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, right to privacy, land acquisition. Here the correct answer is option A. Goods and Services Tax. The 71st Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 added which of the following languages to the 8th schedule? Konkani, Manipuri, Nepali, Maithili. The correct answer is option A. Konkani, Manipuri or Nepali. The Maithili language was included in 8th schedule of the Constitution by 71st Constitutional Amendment Act, 92nd Constitutional Amendment Act, 101st Amendment Act, 108th Amendment Act. Here the correct answer is option B. 92nd Amendment Act 2000. Which of the following amendment inserted the words socialist and secular in the preamble? First Amendment, 42nd Amendment, 44th Amendment, 86th Amendment. Here the correct answer is option B. 42nd Amendment. Abolition of privy purse was done by 7th Amendment, 26th Amendment, 86th Amendment, 42nd Amendment. Here the correct answer is option B. 26th Amendment. Which amendment empowered Parliament to make special provisions for the advancement of socially and economically backward classes? 15th Amendment, 16th Amendment, 46th Amendment, 103rd Amendment. Here the correct answer is option A. 15th Amendment. Which amendment added Article 21A, right to education? 73rd Amendment, 74th Amendment, 86th Amendment, 92nd Amendment. Here the correct answer is option C. ये थे आपके कुछ प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट पे पूछे गए थे।